Alright, so what's going on, guys? So, The Last of Us Part 2 has finally been announced. The sequel to the critically acclaimed Last of Us. We finally got a second game, and I am beyond excited. Now, if it looks like, or even sounds like I just woke up, it's because I just did. I have been so busy these past few days, and I'm finally having some time to make these videos, talk about these new games. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and, talk about it. Okay, so Last of Us Part 2. Now, from what we know so far is that the theme of the game is revenge. It takes place 4 years after the original Last of Us, which makes Ellie 19. And also, what else? There was more information given that I can't remember right now. But yeah, pretty much 4 years after the first game. The theme is revenge. Ellie wants revenge against the Fireflies. We really don't know why, but there are some fan theories going around. A lot of people are saying it as if they made up the theory themselves, but this is like all over the internet from what I can see so far. So I don't even know who was the original person to come up with this theory. But pretty much that theory is that the Fireflies at the beginning of the game, or even before the beginning of the game, killed Joel, and that's why Ellie wants revenge against them, because aside from that, she has no real reason to want to go after them the way she is. And the beginning of the trailer starts off with her playing guitar, and you get to see all these dead bodies all over this house, and then you see a mysterious figure kind of walk in, look around, and then stop at the door and then talk to Ellie. And we know it's Joel, obviously, and you can even hear his voice, and he says, "Are you really gonna go through with this, kiddo?" And she says, "I'm going to kill every last one of them." And then that's when the trailer cuts to black. And yeah, from there it's just like, wow, oh my god, the graphics, it looks exactly like Uncharted 4. The graphics are so beautiful, and that's something that I've always wanted to see in the next Last of Us game, was how good it was going to look, because back then the first game looked incredible. I mean, it looked phenomenal, and now this game just looks insane. And they're also calling it The Last of Us Part 2 because I think it was said because it was a much bigger story and a much more complimentary story than the first one. So it's a much larger and complimentary story, and I think it's going to be kind of like a I'm not too sure, but they could possibly leave it open to another game. So there's a Last of Us Part 2, then The Last of Us Part 3, making it like one whole trilogy. I'm not saying that they're going to do that, but if they did, they could go that route, because I mean, it just sounds so nice. But I can see it just being The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. I honestly wouldn't have been mad if they never would have even made a sequel, because the first game ended so well that I felt we didn't really need a sequel. But you know, now that we're getting one, I mean, just awesome. Like, I'm not even complaining. I'm beyond excited. This was something that we've all been waiting for so long. And I mean, The Last of Us, it's one of those games that you remember for the rest of your life. It's one of those games that you just tell your parents about because it's so good. And yeah, we're finally getting a sequel. I mean, man, it's been so long. We've waited, I think, what, 4 years, and we're finally getting it. And they also showed off some of the technology that they're using for this game, for the facial performance and facial capture and all that. It is unlike anything I've ever seen before. I mean, it picks up every single movement in your face. I mean, it is unreal, and that's what they're using for the game. And I know before, they used to do facial capture and body capture separately and then just mix it all together. Now technology has come so far as to where they can use the entire face and body all in one go. Like, as they're doing the motion capture and the performance capture, all that stuff, it can still, like, while the actor is doing, you know, moving and talking, it's all picking all of this up in real time and recording the voice. So it's almost like you're just watching a movie at this point. Like, it's almost like they're filming a legitimate movie almost, and it's so cool. You know, The Last of Us Part 2, man, it's just, wow, it is crazy. We don't have any release date just yet, and it was just announced at the PlayStation Experience, so we don't know anything. We don't know too much stuff just yet, but of course down the line we're gonna learn more. We're gonna learn more about the characters and all this and that. And yeah, man, I just think it's crazy that, you know, we finally got this game, and revenge is something that I think will really complement this game. And the reason why I say that, you know, Ellie wanting revenge, is because after the end of the first game, we kind of seen her headed down a dark path. After David and after what happened at Winter, you kind of seen Ellie, ever since that happened, you've seen Ellie in a very dark place. A very, very dark place. She wasn't talkative. She was hardly listening to Joel. And We just seen her in a bad place, and now once you get to The Last of Us Part 2, you finally see her in that place. Like, she's headed there, and then in the second game she gets there, and we get to play as her in this really dark, sinister, I'm looking for another word, but I can't think of it right now. But pretty much we see Ellie in a really dark place, and I just can't wait to play as her. And they also said, this is something I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video, but they also said that we are going to primarily play as Ellie. They didn't completely write Joel off, which, I kind of always expected that. I've always said if they made another Last of Us game, you are going to play as Ellie. Like, it's just, that's a fact. Like, I can legitimately see that being an actual fact. But, yeah, so you're gonna primarily play as Ellie, and a lot of people are just saying that Joel is kind of like a figment of her imagination. That's why we see him in the trailer and all that, which I could see, but I'm not too sure. I don't have my own theory just yet. I can't really say too much about it. Although one thing I can say is that I can see them actually killing Joel off, because it'll be similar to the way they did the first game. In the first game, you play as Joel, and Sarah dies, and there's that time skip. In this game, I can see them almost like killing off Joel and then playing as Ellie. Kind of, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's kind of like a comparison between the two. At the beginning of the game, Sarah dies. At the beginning of this game, Joel dies, and you move forward to the next character. Whatever. Well, except in The Last of Us 1, you just played as Joel the whole way through and only played as Ellie in certain moments. I can see them almost starting the game off, Joel dies, and you play as Ellie, but whatever, we don't know much. We gotta still get more information, and then we can actually really speculate, because that trailer only shows us so much. All we really know is that Ellie wants to kill the Fireflies. We really don't know that much else. I mean, the trailer doesn't tell much else, and we haven't heard anything, so all we can do is wait. Speculation. That's all we can do right now. So yeah, let me know what you think about The Last of Us Part 2 being announced. Let me know what you think about the original Last of Us, and I will catch you guys later. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, have a great day.